Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is important, and I'm going to prove to you definitively why people join gangs, and it's going to be something that goes rather deep here. It has to do with the spirits that people are in. I'm going to try to make this brief. I urge you all to get the message out, to tell people. So let me start by explaining a scenario here. So imagine if you were a young person, a young Kobe Bryant, okay, and you have a friend who's a bit tougher than you and looks like a lot more of a good person than you are. And you're going to school every day and you see people who are staring at you who are like goblins with that dark way about them, like Lex Luthor, or more precisely and more importantly, like Goliath from David and Goliath in his depictions, a big, dark-spirited brute. That spirit, that Lex Luthor, that Goliath, that goblin spirit, that darkness. And so, as they're going through life, the churches are full of hypocrites, and they're boring. The education system is full of hypocrites, and they're boring. The Board of Education. And it's guiding you away from the school system, which is designed for people who have a certain temperament that is inferior to the hero's temperament. It's designed to give them the upper hand. The classes are very boring. You sit still for a certain amount of time. They have scientifically approached the concept of education in a way to give their family members the upper hand. And the exact types of people that you would expect to do well in the environment do well. People who are nerdy. It might be an Asian gentleman who's like, hey guys, oh yeah, hi, oh yeah, we have a test today, why? Or a nerdy Jewish kid, yeah, I studied hard last night. But a very masculine person with moral outrage, not the police, not the military, not the intelligence agencies, not the firemen, not the government, not the military, right? But somebody who has a morally precise outrage. Not a socially normative and common angry response. Because if those guys were good guys, we live in a good country, and that would be that. They would get together because good people prioritize what is exactly right, and they go for it. But they don't do that because they're establishment cronies. No offense to anyone. I have to explain this is important. So when the friend of a young Kobe Bryant, who's tougher and more righteous than he is, sees those goblins every day, he starts responding. And he starts acting like a gang member because their spirits have triggered his, and the Satanists who run society know that. They know that when Horus sees Goliath, he's going to vie as a man. David and Goliath versus people who leave the spirit like the fallen angels and lie. Go lie at Goliath. And so that person who is facing Goliath starts seeing himself as the voice of reason in a gang that's wearing blue, the color of the Skywalker, who has a dance that's designed to imitate the Skywalker, crip walking. It's like Michael Jackson with his satanic moonwalking. It's designed to mimic skywalking. You might call it sun and skywalking, heaven walking, heaven moving, right? The gate. The gate can also refer to a certain walk that they've gone out of their way to fume and poison meats to avoid people seeing. Now let me wrap this up because I said I would be short. I would be brief. So this also connects to a very important concept, a very key concept called cultural memory. Just like people have certain inclinations to have sex, they get thirsty, they get hungry, they have reflexes. Okay, there's a certain inclination to be drawn to the Skywalker in their genes already, unless they're severely mentally ill, severely defective, what have you. So when they see things that are mimicking and imitating the Skywalker's spirit, they're drawn to it, especially if the Skywalker himself, who is confused about who he is, like the ugly duckling effect or something, joins that organization. And even if you don't know he's joined that organization, because he's contributing to it, he's like feeding into that energy. Thus the word blessed is a play on words for be less, but they're not truly blessed, are they? They're cursed because no one can be established through wickedness. And this is why the word scripture is a play on words for crypt's root. It's not because there were crypts in the ancient world. It's because the people who made the words and the cults that continued their work, they looked at it and said, how can they make it so the Skywalker goes through a certain route? And why is he going to go through that route? Because it has to do with his roots. The root and offspring of David, David versus Goliath. By now you should know I'm Christ. Thank you.